what a nice evening so far. And now we have a wonderful poet to bring us details of his experience and his soulful journeys. Frej Barty is an aspiring filmmaker, cinematographer, and general multi-hyphenate storyteller. And while he might not like that neologism, he finds and gives hope. He is an all-around nerd, so he says, a love for anything analog. I'm glad to hear that. From the Mendocino High School radio station KAKX to pinball to his Mendocino County Youth Poet Laureateship, he is a very active individual, curious, questing, and on in a variety of ways. His bio keeps shifting, though, because he is still finding a voice and a way of living. And I have to say, I encourage him to keep on keeping on. The best is yet to come. So, Frej, I am turning the mic over to you. I'm glad to have you here. And let me mute me. The mic is to you.
I'm going to be reading poems all from, thank you for the wonderful introduction. Um, I'm going to be reading poems all from a new book, and I want to show it to you, but it's currently in review on Amazon. So hopefully we can send out a link to that when it is actually available. And until now, it's a theoretical book, maybe. Also, I read here before a little bit, and I didn't make note of which poems I read, so I'm sorry if I run afoul and read any of those things twice. But so it is. So the work is called "It Would Be Easier If We Were Less Frail," wouldn't it? And it's broadly about my experience growing up and being a teenager and how theoretical that generally is. About what my future is going to be. And just as I'm finishing this book, I'm finally making college decisions and knowing what my future is going to be. So that's what's going on right now. And I'm going to try and read first off the title poem, which gets at that theme. It would be easier if we were less frail. You set the cabin air to circulate as the dusky blackness grips the car. Again comes the roiling in the distance, summer blending campfire and the campfire. Fire a rhythm and ritual, common as kid fingers smeared with huckleberry. You learn to negotiate altitude, hold your head above smoke, breathe in hitches. When flames roll in at home, they remind you of summers outside, till rugs must be rolled beneath doors, blocking civilization's evidence, blocking Nixle alerts, blocking the unending panic, blocking unable to block frailty. If flames came, we would char and fall away. There is nothing in us that would go on. There is nothing in us beyond sinew, nothing essential, nothing given to lift up our unclean heads from the water or taken to guarantee our standing different to the tide. It would be easier if we were less frail. It's so hard to read without hearing anyone else. I'm just in silence over here in Mendocino, in Fort Bragg. And the next poem in the book is sort of a response to that. It's called Take Note. Take note that we do live yet in the time of prophecy, that I grow and breathe as the trees knock, that glancing blows are glancing, that heavy blows deepen the soul, that in the forest, when you taught me of spirit or fairy and the words that yielded the mysterium fascinans, take note, the sun softly doffing its skin, or the very flesh you hold. Give and take thanks in equal measure. Give and take magic in equal measure. the world is not summed, it only are. So now I go off script and don't know what I'm going to read next. I suppose as you are leaving a place, you think more about the place, and so I recently wrote, recently in big quotation marks, some poems about where I live on the Mendocino coast. This first one is called West of West, because that's where I am. West of West, here the end of us, permanent frontier, pipers and the sea. Here the end of us, as if to part, sail off. But there is no further, you cannot leave now. The whale oil yellow and ocean blue, me and tired feet, oysters. West of West, home is where you live. You know, I must have read that one, I'm thinking now. Patterned this coast. The yellow-red sun lies me down in the tall grass memory gentles. The reflections that bounce back of stars and the star-spangled fireworks are years in this snuggle. A morning voice issues guidance from beyond the evening fog. Like, here on the beach is the only place I've been, and I'm leaving. I have patterned this coast, laid my name down all over the cities, dreamed of where the white beaches might end, but there will never be a sunset better than this one. What should I do next? I don't know what to read.
Whatever you enjoy, whatever moves you, that's fine.
All right, this is one. I was in Japan on a cultural exchange trip with the Mendocino Miyasa Sister Cities program. And I wrote this there after I'd just seen some fireflies above rice fields. It's called Fire and Rice. Fireflies above rice fields. Winking joy says life's unending. Stretching rows and hard hands say it's soon descending. But we must venerate our farmers as our chefs. For each grain is a beating second bought. Our time is kept in the field, and our lights do it but wield. Feel like I don't have a theme here. I wasn't told about weather, so I'm just gonna bounce around here and go from life and death to I guess it's a little bit about life and death. It's called Reading List. A series of tabs, carefully ordered, glittering alone. A stack of book, haphazardly tossed, towering up. A ream of DVDs, discreetly chosen, standing prostrate. These, more than anything, will be what I leave. These will be the pillow cried upon, the bittersweet reminder, when the earth is on her knees, my tough pixels and my tougher plastic will remain. Curation is one way forth into the unseen times. I do really believe that. I worked at Figueredo's video store where I sold off the last of the DVDs as they were going out of business. And I really think that curation and that personal touch of what we choose and what media we like and what poems we read is one of the most important things. This one, I guess, to continue the theme of death, I had a family friend die, and I wrote this. It's called On Cancer at the Lake. 1. We boys place bets on making the jump, hands high above cold water. I'm reminded of how tenuous life is, how with so little time, like at the end of a losing poker game, you say all in. All in. Water is rebirth anyway, and a wiser man has died. 2. I edit his photo. Like, if AI can fill out the edges, maybe it can fill him back. Photo and photo, just before we hit the water, we're both slackened figures. Only for him, there won't be a chance of climbing higher and going again. 3. I'm reminded of the old song. It goes D12, that the good die young. That's why I think you should have fun when you're young, 'cause time won't wait for no one. When God calls, you gotta go home. When God calls, you gotta go home. The joy of finding. Lens caps are meant to be lost. Same of socks or keys or hope, because of the joy of finding. Anew, let's just go down the order of the book. Anew. For a time, my dream was a glass soda bottle. Too old to throw away, too old to use. I clean it up, put some new shine on, but the possibility of lead renders it useless. So I need a new dream that will shatter that old one and keep polished marbles for remembrance. I must stand a while without that shield around me, identity free. My heart is open to wind-blown saline and salt. Time to make a new bottle. And now I need to go looking frantically. This is another one that I wrote in when I was in Japan, and I think it's the core of maybe what the book is about, which is deciding what you want to do and what scale you want to live at. Right now, as I'm making my college decision, I have to choose between a really big experience that has big risks and big rewards, and experience that is less of both. And I think that both have a place, and that's what this poem is about. Step away the running train. Step away the running train and coming eagle. But equally, sweet lips foreboding risk. Sidestep pitfalls of all kinds. Opportunities for mistakes so grievous they echo now. Tatami, gold, boiling peacocks of stone, so many lives made this little room of prayer, lives doing work more important than I might, that you run from, knowing that thought is danger. On the train, the old one says, don't afraid, don't afraid, don't afraid. He sees himself in me, like if you miss the moon, you will land on a cloud, but empty is the air of a route to fly. You will plunge deeper into dark water the higher you try. I hope you can see I am a moody teenager, and sometimes that gets through. um, let's see, what should I do? One that is maybe a little bit more fun. I got asked to read at the Mendocino Mushroom Festival, and I wrote this one about the childhood that I have had. LBM, Little Book Mushroom. The basket, before I was born, knife, water bottle, little book with trumpets on the front, little book that dined parents, little book that loved rain, little book that promised. When I was born, I became part of the utrustning, Swedish word, outwear, basket, belit, and boy, all the book promised. And we're just gonna go around and choose something else. This one is about art. It's called Keening. Divine heartburn is sharp sibilance in my chest. Her stabbing exhalations this close crack the sully firmament of a sad future my mind has thumbed bis more till worn thick, which breaks into ascetic, trembling sweetness. But Fitzgerald said the keening fork must stop. Popcorn rivers swims like little humming birds, pulling by the boots and chairs, speeding to the horizon of the sea of the inaccessible future you'd walk into a flickering screen reaching for. Poets portray this pitch, fiddlers this same fork, filmmakers this same future. So can you chase the rhythms, sing a song to the one story, the one true tune all life vibrates at? I think you guys certainly can. And this one is called Yes and. Me loitering near your house outside. An auricular advice salesman ponders that there exist only 4 light bulbs. Family, friends, work, and body, the podcast says, and insufficient power. No, I'll have the yes and, please. Yes, a job and change. Yes, and a time to sleep. Yes, and a God. Yes, and a science. Even if it's aspirational, I'll take the yes and. Try to achieve in a finite life everything infinite that outmatches some fountain in the woods anyway. And if I lull, well, I cannot plan on that. I hasten inside. I think the thing that I've been most thankful for is finding communities like yours. When I started doing poetry, and I'm sure that you guys have had a similar experience, I didn't realize at all that it came with this much community, and I'm so happy to have found it, and I'm so thankful for you, everyone here, for continuing that and holding it up, even though I know that it's so hard, and there is so much for us all to do. Notes from Beyond the Pixels. I'm showing my age. Notes from Beyond the Pixels. Always take the side quests. Always talk to the NPCs. Makes mistakes like you respawn, and at some point, finish the story. Knowing that the bosses aren't actually the bosses, but that room you get stuck in. And then, can we end it on a love poem? Can we end it on a love poem? We can end it on a love poem. Galadan Field. And this is the name of a place in Tolkien's Lord of the Rings universe, and it's actually kind of a sad place where a tragedy takes place, but I think that the word being literally glad, Galadan Field, I think that was something worth quoting. Would you go out to Galadan Field, and trod upon the dappled ground, and smile as the wind and sun, and bring sweet, clear notes aloud? Would you delight in briny vista, and bring scintillant eyes before the sea, and hear the slow sibilance of the waves, and call out, "This is what it is to be"? Would you show me gentle truth, and renounce my yearn that I were stronger, and let me sing your marless praise, and linger a little longer? Would you speak with me, and see in me what I wish was I, and disremember all my faults, and ply our troth before the sky? Would you make a nest of pleated grass, and bring sweet lips to mead, and hold me in the veiled grey breeze, and cede to me your valiant steed? Thank you so much for hearing me today.
Bravo, bravo.
I should unmute.
Yeah,
Woohoo! Yay.
Wow.
yeah.
Beautifully
Incredible.
delivered. Wow.
Wonderful, wonderful work. Thank you so much.
Thank
Keep it
you
up.
for
It's so lovely to hear somebody of your generation doing poetry. That's fantastic. Usually it's all us old farts here.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey.
How can you be so wise at such a young age?
We have some young farts in here too.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Really nice. Really nice. Really nice.
Oh,
Very lovely.
wonderful.
Nice speaking voice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
thank
you
you
know,
so much.
Yeah, it was perfect that you just picked a sampler of things and just went through and let us in on all the secrets. That's great. Well done. Well
And
done.
the pause between while you were searching gave us time to absorb what you just read. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, if I can say anything as Youth Poet Laureate, it's buy my book. But secondly, it's when you do hear youth voices and people who have an interest in language, invite them in, because it's meant a lot for me to be able to do this, and the few people I've managed to coerce into these spaces have also found a lot of value in it.
Oh, well, we'll do. And for the book, if you can put information in the chat or send it to me by email, I can then, send that, you send it out and about, so just feel free to do that. That'll be my pleasure to do that. And, we do this every Wednesday. So anytime you want to drop back in, just come by and wow us all over,
Yeah, thank you so much. I didn't realize it was every Wednesday, or I would have come in and listened to another.
All right.
I thought it was only monthly, so I will, yeah. Thank you so much.
Well, good. I'm going to stop the recording, or else, because I don't want to forget. Just